Come say hi. Oh, you're so good. Are you gonna have fun helping us choose the tarot decks today? You're gonna get lots of treats out of it. Hi, I'm Bee. This is my dog Gilgamesh. He's going to be helping me today with choosing the decks that I'm going to be using in the piles. I thought that would be a lot of fun. It's going to also be a little pumpkin themed. We're going to be using pumpkin treats to have him select from the collection of decks that I've got, and I'm going to film that part too and show it to you guys. So I hope you have a lot of fun, and let's get started. Alright, we're here with Gilgamesh. He's so sweet for volunteering his time to be with us and help us choose our decks. These are the little treats I'm gonna give him. They're little pumpkins, aren't they cute? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a treat on each deck, and I think what we're gonna do is I will just do it in rounds, and we'll end up with 4 piles. And all right, so let's try this. Gil, sit up please. Up. Up. Good boy. Now pick a treat. Pick one. Go ahead. Oh, good boy. All right. So we have the Osho Zen Tarot. This will be pile 1. And we'll let Gil enjoy his treat a little bit. And let's see what he chooses next. Okay, sit. Sit. Good boy. You're so good. Okay, go ahead. Choose. Wait. You're just going one by one, aren't you? You gotta shuffle them around and see which one appeals to you most. Okay, pick one. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can do it. Good boy. Oh, there you go. You're so good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, kind sir. Here we go. Ooh, sorry for the wiggle. Ooh, okay, now it's really wiggling. Guardian of the Night Tarot. Oh, I'm so excited to use this. This is brand new. I just got it in the mail today. This will be pile 2. Thank you so much, Gil, for choosing for us. Okay, and now we have the final 2. Gil, good boy. You are so good. I love you so much. And now, go ahead. Choose one. Choose one. Go ahead. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, okay. You wanna be on top. Good boy. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Gil. Thank you. This is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and this is going to be pile 3, which leaves the final pile. Good boy, Gil. Tarot for Kids. This is going to be pile 4. I love this deck for inner child work, so we'll see what kind of messages come through on that one. And here we go. Gil, you've done such a great job. You're such a good boy. Thank you so much. You happy? You so happy? Can you lay down? Oh no, you gotta clean the floor, huh? Well, there you go. That was your big star moment. Yeah, can you lay down? Lay down? Come here. Lay down. Lay down. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to all the people. Bye-bye. I'll see you at the pile selection. Hello, welcome back. Thank you to Gilgamesh for choosing these piles for us. This is the Osho Zen Tarot, and this is pile 1. This is Guardian of the Night Tarot, and this is pile 2. This is Golden Art Nouveau, and this is pile 3. And this is Tarot for Kids, and that's pile number 4. Before we begin, I'm going to play a quick disclaimer. This is a general reading for entertainment purposes only. Watching my content does not constitute an advisory relationship such as therapy or legal counsel. I am not a certified medical or therapeutic professional, and my readings do not constitute professional advice. My readings are for confirmation of what you already intuitively know for yourself, not to get answers from me. General readings like this are like forecasting the weather for the entire planet. I can say that it is summer in the northern hemisphere, but summer looks very different from region to region. So please use your best judgment, take what resonates and leave the rest. And now let's get back to the video. Thank you. And now that we're back from that, we're going to head into pile selection, and I'm going to lead us through a guided meditation. The meditation music today is provided by my friend Fieldwave Audio. I'd love it if you checked out his channel, and I am linking it in the description below. And now we're going to start with a couple deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Start by closing your eyes and breathe in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4. And in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4. And now that you've taken a couple deep breaths, on your next exhale, feel roots growing out from the soles of your feet and extending deep down into the earth. Feel the warmth of the soil beneath your toes and pressing down into your roots, which are holding you here to the earth. And now that your roots have expanded far and deep into the ground, imagine white light coming up from the earth and entering your root system as you breathe it in towards your body. This white light travels through your roots, up through the ground, and up through the soles of your feet. Breathe in through the soles of your feet, and on that inhale, feel the white light fill up your body through your legs, up past your hips, and into your torso, and then out through your arms and hands, and then up through your throat, and then through your head. And this white light is cleansing you throughout your whole body. And then on your next exhale, feel that white light bloom out through the top of your head, forming a shield that comes around you like an egg, containing your energy and protecting and grounding you into the present moment. Take another couple deep breaths. In 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, and in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4. Now that you have cleansed and grounded your energy into this reading. If you feel called to do so, you can call in a team of your spiritual guides or ancestors or angels to help guide you to selecting a pile that is correct for you and holds a message that you need to hear. You may be drawn to more than one pile, and you may be drawn to none of the piles, and that's okay. Just trust that you will be correctly guided to what you need to hear. And now open your eyes and gaze upon these piles, and I will leave you here for a few moments to look at these piles and select the one that calls out to you. So pause your video if you need a few moments. Otherwise, if you've already selected your piles, I will see you at your reading, and you can use the timestamps either in the description or in the chapter selection on this video, and I will see you there. All right, take care. Hi, pile number 1. You have chosen the Osho Zen Tarot deck. And this reading, I didn't explain this in the beginning because I've kind of been a little all over the place with this video in terms of filming, but this reading is going to be about what adventure is calling out to you right now. And we're going to draw 4 cards from this deck. The first card is going to be what's calling to you, what adventure is waiting for you. The second card is going to be what's holding you back from answering the call. The third card is going to be what tools and assistance and guidance is available to you to prepare you and deal with this block. And then the fourth card will be what you're going to gain or how you'll be transformed by going on this adventure. So let's begin. So what adventure is calling out to pile 1? What is calling out to them? I'm laughing because yesterday I tried filming this video and I was not feeling it. I struggled with I was sleep deprived and everything, so I decided to table it and come back today to film. And this was the first card that popped out yesterday when I was attempting to do pile 1. So harmony. This is the 10 of Cups. And what is blocking pile 1 from going on this adventure? What is holding pile 1 back? What is holding back pile 1? What is holding back pile 1? What is holding back pile 1 from going on this adventure towards harmony? What is holding back pile 1? Oh, okay. Going with the flow. And what tools or assistance or guidance are available for pile number 1 to work through this block? Right. What will help pile 1 move through this block? What will help pile number 1 move through this block, please? I see. What will help pile number 1 move through this block? I'm going to try one more time. Please give us clear guided messages. What will help pile 1 move through this block? Right. Okay. Let's switch it up. Why are there no messages coming out? What does pile 1 need to know? Okay, pile 1, we are going to pause and take a deep breath. I know we did the guided meditation at the beginning of this video, but if you skipped that, or even if you didn't, we're going to try this one more time. I want you to close your eyes and breathe in through your nose, in, 2, 3, 4, and out through your mouth, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And now that we've taken a couple deep breaths, I want you to visualize a place that brings you joy, whether that's a beach or a forest or your comfy couch at home. Try and feel into the deepest center of your being. And when you've reached your center, just feel your organic nature and feel the waves of calm and the density of your material being, and feel that weight grounding you into your present experience, into your present moment. And when you feel fully present and grounded into your body, I'd like you to take one more deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And now you can flutter open your eyes and roll your shoulders and come back to the room around you. And we're going to try and continue this reading. I just kind of was feeling like maybe we're not grounded enough. So let's try this again. We have what's calling you to your adventure. What adventure is waiting for you? Harmony. What is blocking you going with the flow? And I feel like either you struggle to release and go with the flow, or you don't have enough structure in your mental headspace. You might be ungrounded, so that was kind of why I paused and did this. And now let's look at what's going to help pile number 1 move through this block so that they can meet their calling for adventure. Please give us clear guide. Oh, here we go. We finally, this is incredible because this card also came out yesterday when I was first trying to film this reading. This is the 7 of Wands. And now, how will pile 1 be transformed? What will they gain from heeding this call to adventure? What will pile 1 gain by heeding this call to adventure? Oh, we got playfulness. All right. Pile number 1. That was interesting. Give me a moment. When I first started this reading yesterday, I focused on the dolphins and how they want to bring in playfulness. Dolphins are very playful, free, curious creatures, and these dolphins are emerging straight from the heart of this figure in this image. And so I feel like your heart is crying out for play, and what's blocking you going with the flow, it feels like these cards should be in opposite positions, right? But I think maybe what's being said here is that you struggle to go with the flow because you're juggling all these things. You don't stop and relax. And this monkey here that you are leashed is about to pop the balloon, the thing that you're balancing on. And sometimes this is what a tower moment is all about, because something about this arrangement where you are just in this case of just constantly juggling and being under pressure and stress, sometimes external factors come and rip the rug out from under us, and you fall and collapse and you drop all the things that you were juggling. And that is when the universe is like, here it is, you need to stop doing this, and it's stopping for you because you're not taking the initiative to stop it yourself. And so I see this kind of as a caution, pile number 1, that you can't go on like this. You can't go on without having joy or play or harmony or relaxation in your life. You are not a machine, and nobody is a machine, and nobody can thrive without these things in their life. And so this, there's going to be an event or something might come up that forces you to stop doing what you're doing, which is spinning all these plates and just precariously balancing, trying to make ends meet, feeling stressed out and burnt out, but just pushing yourself to go even when your tank is on empty. This little monkey here, and monkeys are quite playful too. I feel like maybe this is your inner child who you keep on a leash, you keep kind of under your control so that you can be a big adult and do all these adult things. Maybe you're working a really stressful job. You might be responsible. You might have a lot of responsibilities in your life. And in order to, you might have a belief that you can't allow yourself to play or relax, or else you won't be able to manage all of your adult responsibilities, and that they depend on you being in this state, and that there's just no room for play. Well, you know, this little monkey here, your inner child, they're ready to kind of trip you up and kind of force you to recognize that you do have time for play, and you do have the ability to feel harmony in your life if you just let go of your need to control. Let's get some more information about this. I'm going to draw some clarifier cards from our deck. The other thing about the grounding exercise is when you're in this stressful state, you're not in your body. You can't be in your body and be on the go all the time. I mean, you know, I think it's really easy to confuse being in a high stress state where you're go, 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 go with being in flow state. And flow is when you are fully present in your body and you are acting without thought. You're just in the flow of your movements and your actions. But and being in a high stress environment can feel like that. I know, because I used to work overtime. I used to be on the go for my job, constantly going from appointment to appointment to meet with people. And you get into this rhythm where you're like flying by the seat of your pants, but it's not the same thing as flow. Flow feels really, let's see. Flow is like feeling loose. There's no tension in your body. That's the big difference. When you're stressed, you feel a lot of tension, and it affects everything. When you're trying to, okay, if you're the type of person that works through your lunch, stop doing that. You need to sit down and be fully present for your meal in order for you to digest it properly. When you are eating and you are in and you're in the car or something and you're distracted, or you're checking your work emails, your mind isn't present for the experience of nourishing yourself. And so then your mind doesn't comprehend that you are being nourished or that you're having an enjoyable experience. And you go through with these unmet needs for nourishment. And it sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but maybe that's helpful to hear. That was something that I changed about my eating habits before leaving my job, and it made a big difference for me to actually take my lunch breaks seriously and to step away from my desk, not working through my lunch just so that I could leave a half hour early and make the most out of my time that I get home, because the time that you spend at work is your time. You know, that it's not your work's time. It's your time that you are voluntarily engaging with work. And there's an exchange there. And when you're doing all that all day long, just in a rushful energy, you're depriving yourself, you know, of potentially years of your life if you go about work that way. And you don't want to be absent for your whole life. while you're at work. So let's see if there's any. Whoop, here we go. Innocence. This card tried to flip out earlier, but it did not. This is the Hermit. And I see the praying mantis on his finger and these cherry blossoms. And this innocence. This man hasn't lost his childlike wonder and ability to be playful and to enjoy the world for what it has to offer in the moment. And I think what I was just saying about, you spend a lot of time out of your life at work, or whatever it is that you're doing, that's this scenario. And you don't want to arrive at the later part of your life not knowing how to enjoy your life and not knowing what it is to be playful and to have joy. Sorry, I'm feeling like this is just a real finger shaking type of message. Like, you need to stop. you need to stop stressing. You need to find a way to delegate some of the things that are going on. That's just how it's coming through for me right now. And I've known people, I used to work in human services, I've known people that work themselves to until they get diseased. They get cancer or they get heart attacks, and that's sometimes that's the body's way of saying, like, enough is enough. You have to stop this. So that's just kind of why I'm being a little, I guess, harsh right now. And it's just what's coming through. You need some playfulness. You're allowed to be playful. You're allowed to have fun and to have joy in your life. That one went flying. Ooh, I need to find it. Give me a second. Okay. This card came out, the Source. This is the Ace of Wands, and for me, this is like finding your vitality, getting back in touch with your fire. You will feel restored motivation by pausing to embrace some harmony in your life. Do what you gotta do. And any other clarifiers that want to come out. Rebirth. The Ten of Swords. I always see the Ten of Swords traditionally as like, well, usually you see all these swords in somebody's back, and you can kind of equate that a little bit towards the Ten of Wands, where, you're feeling burdened and weighed down. But when the swords come out, it's kind of like it's all in your head. Like you don't have to be this burdened. Like, maybe you're telling yourself that you need to fulfill some type of role, but who told you that? Try and think about that. It's very easy to start telling yourself a narrative of how you have to be a certain way, or you have to work or struggle and do all this stuff, or else nobody else will, or it has to fall on you. Those are mental traps. And I'm just seeing here that you don't have to be in tune with all of this struggle or anxiety or, this fierceness. You can be the child that's just playing some soft music and going with the flow. And so now I'm going to pull out some oracle cards to kind of get some additional advice and messages. Okay, I picked out the Whispers of Healing deck for you. I didn't pre-select the oracle decks this time around, so I'm just doing what I feel called to for each individual pile. And so I had to shuffle them, and that's where we're at. While I was shuffling, something that came to me was, oh gosh, what was it? It sounded really good. I keep feeling drawn to this source card, and I want to say, like, really consider what the source of your stress is, and what is the source of your beliefs, and how you have constructed your view of about what you ought to expect from life. Go to the source. And now we're going to look for some nice messages. Let's see. We have modify. Then we have barriers. I've never pulled this card before, modify, so I'm going to read from the book for that. And let's see. Here it is. I'll allow you to pause if you want to read it yourself. Modify. Work on releasing your fears and learn to affirm the good in a situation. Positive emotions are linked to effort, focus, energy, and inspiration. Your emotions and actions influence your body. They can raise or lower your energy and impact your physical body and health. Positive thinking will enhance your energy. Fake it until you make it. That is, you may not feel happy or powerful, but act as if you are. When you make the adjustment and act as if you are happy, your mood will shift positively. Take steps to create positive change as you adjust to your new life. Are you holding on to past situations and dwelling on them? Be willing to release the past and let yourself change your thinking. It is important to remember that your soul is having a physical experience. Your physical body is not your soul. Work to embrace this belief, and it will transform your attitude toward many things in life. A maiden flies on the back of a Pegasus amidst birds and angels. It is believed that Pegasus came from Atlantis. He represents the time of new consciousness. The angels bring awareness to how your thinking influences your world and what you have no control of. If you are stuck when it comes to modifying your viewpoint, call on your guardian angels. Angels can help you find the positive in any situation. The group is moving into the dawn of a new day. Fine-tune your thoughts, quiet your mind, and listen for your intuition. The feathers and wings acknowledge you have the freedom to push through this period. Okay, so for me, this is relating back to kind of what I was talking about with the way that going through just a go type of mentality, it takes you out of flow and it takes you out of your body. And when you're not grounded into your body and in the present moment, you can't get spiritual messages. Like, so the way I think about this is you need vertical alignment, right? And if you're not in your body, you're not in vertical alignment. You know, the vertical is like spirit, and then your mind, and then your body, and then earth, you know? And you have to have a clear line to be able to receive channeled messages and or guidance and inspiration and things like that. So if you're in a stress state, you're constantly out of your body, and you might just be totally inhabiting your mental space, and that takes you out of flow. The other thing is, when I was seeing going with the flow, I kind of had this idea that somebody doesn't have enough structure. They might be too loosey-goosey or all over the place with their thoughts or their ideas, and they're not bringing their inspiration into grounded action. They're not bringing it into material reality, and just dreaming a lot and going through the motions without making concrete changes. So that might apply to you. And when it comes to this modify card, where did it go? There we go. Yeah, changing your point of view. Being under stress and this Ten of Swords type of energy, you might only be able to see how everything is a threat towards you and towards your happiness. Being under stress puts you into survival mode. It makes you more alert to threats than opportunities. And if you want to be able to see the opportunities in your environment, it really helps to take that moment to ground. And the other thing that flashed back to me was when we were first doing this pile, for a while, like, the message about what to comes next was being very blocked and restrained, and we had to stop and ground and do that little pause of meditation before the messages could continue. And for me, that's kind of why I went onto this thing with stress and work, because when I was doing that for myself, that's kind of how I felt all the time, was that I never had enough, I never had a moment where I could just stop and be. And it's important to just be. And now barriers, let's look at that. So, here we go. You have created barriers or defense mechanisms that may be preventing emotional or mental healing. The universe is eagerly waiting and willing to assist you with your healing, but you may not be receiving the healing you desire. Something seems to be blocking or hindering your restoration. The obstacle may be a protective measure you have put in place to keep your heart from further harm. This shield may seem necessary and logical, however, it is also preventing the healing light being sent to you from penetrating and healing your pain. Defense mechanisms are a response to being wronged, hurt, rejected, abandoned, or abused. You may have made a mental vow not to allow yourself to feel a certain type of pain again. Once the block is in place, you may find it difficult to talk about certain situations or to receive corrective information about your experience. When I immediately thought of this monkey wanting to correct this situation by putting a pin in the balloon. By identifying the root cause of your defense mechanism, healing can begin. So I feel like there was this Ten of Swords event that is really blocking you. You need to be willing to tear down the walls you have built so that healing can occur. A woman rides high on the back of a dragon in the middle of the ocean. The shoreline is covered with jagged rocks and looks completely unapproachable. Smoke comes from the dragon's mouth as if he might breathe fire at any moment. You have created a similar type of energy with the walls you have built around you. Remember, fear does not keep you safe. Be willing to make some changes. Talk to someone about what you are harboring so your healing process can begin. The full moon shines her light on whatever it is you are ready to release. The turbulent water shows this may not be easy for you to do. However, the same turbulent water can be cleansing and will help you move forward. The stars in the sky are your blessings. They suggest there are many sources that will help you become free. Right. Yeah, I feel like someone here is really locked in, like set in their ways, and their way is leading them to total collapse and burnout. And it might be really hard to switch gears, but the payoff is the 10 of cups and the playfulness and being able to feel like you're alive and fully taking advantage of what life has to offer you. Let me see what else. We are going to go into some planetary archetypes. So we'll shuffle these really quick. The visionary, Jupiter. The world is filled with possibilities. Inventive, expansive, wise, insightful, enthusiastic, curious, courageous, philanthropic, imaginative, knowledgeable, conceptual, inspired, idealistic, benevolent, humble. So, and when I see this image, there's like a bird here that's coming to the girl, but she's turned away from it. It's like she isn't even aware that there's a bird here that wants to engage with her and maybe, bring her eyesight up to the sun that's coming to rise. Yes, I feel like this girl has like a barrier around her. And there's so much going good if you just lift your gaze and look. Just because you don't feel like things are really good doesn't mean you can't shift that. Energy can be shifted. And you want to draw a fine line between spiritual bypassing, which is just toxic positivity. But, if you're not feeling great, but things around you are going well, sometimes there's something deeper that's preventing that shift. That it could be like a belief about unworthiness, or that you don't want to open yourself up to being hurt. But being able to notice what's going good in your life will help shift that energy, and just acknowledging it. It's the way that, what I like to say is like, gratitude is receiving. And until you acknowledge and give gratitude to what you have in your life, you can't really receive it. Because if you're not acknowledging it, you're not aware of it. And if you're not aware of it, then it might as well not be there, Like, what we give our attention to is really what we call into our life, like, and is what grows. And that's why awareness is such a powerful thing. And so now we have here Saturn, the advocate. I align with the greater good for all, humanitarian, resourceful, integrous, idealistic, resilient, outspoken, opinionated, rebellious, a champion, supportive, compassionate, democratic, passionate, driven, devoted. Okay, I thought passionate was said twice. This is more, this is a traditional interpretation of Saturn, because people usually associate Saturn with like heaviness and burdens and obstacles, and certainly he does have those associations. But this is also like the traditional side of Saturn, where Saturn rules over Aquarius, which is the opposite of Leo, and Leo kind of represents monarchies and monarchies, basically concentrated power in a single individual, whereas Saturn, Aquarius, is the love of the people. It's the culture, and Leo needs these things to fully access his full potential and power. Nobody is an island unto themselves. And maybe you would benefit from advocating for yourself more, or connecting with a cause that can kind of take you out of, you know, a kind of like self-centered type of closed down attitude. when you're kind of swirling in negativity, you know, I hate to say it, but there is a tendency to be a bit self-absorbed with that, because all you're looking at is everything that's happening to you that you perceive as bringing you down. But one of the most effective ways to turn that around is to go out into your community and just participate in your community somehow. It doesn't have to be volunteering, although I'm a big fan of that. It could just be going down to the coffee shop, getting a coffee, and having a conversation with somebody. It could be, you know, riding the bus and noticing an elderly individual that seems a little lonely and just talking to them about how the day is going. Talking to the cashier at the grocery store while you're getting your groceries. That is, that can be a great act of service, because sometimes people, when you run across people out in the community, and this is something that I learned through the work that I did in human services, was that there's a lot of people where their entire lifeline, like the only people they interact with, are the people that they see at the grocery store, or the person that they sit next to on the bus. And if you can just engage with a person for 5 or 10 minutes, sometimes that's the thing that is keeping that person hopeful about life. And you can be doing a great service to somebody just by having a conversation with them in the checkout line, honestly. And yeah, let's see. Anything else? I do love to end my readings with at least one affirmation. So I will pull out my affirmation deck. And let's see. It's kind of funny because this reading is something where I'm flying by the seat of my pants for once. And so I'm kind of in that headspace right now. Let's see. Helpful affirmations for pile 1. What affirmation would be helpful for pile number 1 to help them move through their blocks? Okay. I trust and know that all is well in my world. Divine right action is guiding me every moment of the day. I know that whatever the outcome is, it is perfect for me and everyone concerned. I think that, well, I'm going to put that up there. I think that's a great way to kind of top off this reading. You know, you can have the everything is well in your world, and it doesn't make you selfish to drop some of these things that you're juggling, or to set them aside for a moment, to give yourself time to reconnect with your innocence and your playfulness, and to kind of work through these barriers in place that, you know, it could be related to trauma, it could be related to just feeling bitter or stressed out about something, but that wasn't necessarily, I mean, maybe a little bit, but bitterness didn't necessarily come up too much for me. And that's where I'm going to leave this pile number 1. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 2. So this is your reading. This is the Guardian of the Night Tarot. This is a pretty new deck for me. I've only used it a couple times now. This reading, I didn't mention this in the intro because I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I've had to break up this recording over a few days. But we are going to be looking at what adventure is calling out to you. The first card will be what is calling to you. What's the adventure that you're meant to go on? The second card will be what is blocking you from going on this adventure. The third card will be what will help you work through or release your block. And then the fourth card will be what will you gain or how will you be transformed by going on this adventure. And so we're going to begin now. And Spirit, please give us clear guided messages for what adventure is calling out to pile number 2. What adventure is calling out to pile number 2? What adventure? Okay. We got the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords. I see. Interesting. What is blocking pile number 2 from going on this adventure? Which I'm really getting staycation vibes. So, and I feel like pile 1 really needed a staycation, so if you were drawn to pile number 1, I would check that one out too. What is blocking pile number 2 from going on their adventure? Okay. 10 of Wands. Yes, we are getting very similar vibes to pile 1 right now. And now, what will help pile number 2 work through this block? What assistance is available to them? What will help pile number 2 release what's blocking them? What will help pile number 2 release what's blocking them? Two of Wands. And then finally, how will pile 2 be transformed by working through this block and going on this adventure? Five of Cups. I see. Pile number 2. I'd like to clarify the Five of Cups first. Offer some clarification for the Five of Cups, please. Please clarify the Five of Cups. Okay. We have the Seven of Swords. Pile number 2. What I am seeing with the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords is an inner journey. You may be a workaholic, or you may just not have had an opportunity in the last year or so to just rest. The Four of Swords is all about rest, and this cute little hedgehog really makes me think about hibernating. And the Hanged Man for me is like, what I'm getting from this is that you are about to hit I don't want to call it a dead end, but like a wall that's going to stop you from moving forward. And this was really similar to the message I was getting in pile 1. But with the Hanged Man here, I'm seeing more about being called to go inwards and kind of have like a journey, like almost like a shamanic journey. I don't want to advocate for drugs or anything, but if you use psychedelics, I tend to associate the Hanged Man with that. And when I see the glowing head here of the possum, I'm really thinking about, oh, he's facing this direction. He's looking kind of taking into account all that has passed up to this point and really taking stock. Like we see these, I'm not sure what's being depicted here, but I think of it as like a stack of logs, and kind of packing away, making sure that there's enough to get through the winter. So taking stock of what's led up to this point to kind of get a different perspective, because right now what's being blocked is the Ten of Wands, and these salmon are going upstream to spawn. We know that salmon, they struggle really hard to return home, and I'm thinking returning home is returning home to your inner self and your peace of mind and feeling secure within your being. And what's here to help you? We have the Two of Wands, and I see the lioness here. She's kind of looking out for new opportunities. And we have the male lion here. He is gray. He's kind of like grayscale, right? Because the way this card kind of speaks to me is that it's in a pride, it's the lioness that goes on the hunt and scopes out new opportunities and bringing home the bacon, basically. And there's a time and place for the male lion's role, which is really to protect the perimeter of the pride. They go around the perimeter and they defend their territory. And I think this is more inviting you to expand to new territories, basically. That, you know, the time for managing and maintaining a certain boundary has kind of reached a maturation point, and now this bird is bringing a new message about new horizons to go on, which seems to kind of contradict here the adventure of going inwards and just kind of staying put. But I do see the Hangman as kind of like a visionary type of card, and I'm thinking that you might become inspired to go on to new things after you have done this inner taking inventory of yourself. And how you're going to be transformed, or what you will gain from this, we got the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords. I think there's some spiritual bypassing going on, some grief that maybe has not been fully processed yet. Yes, I see the jaguar or panther here as kind of denying, you know, trying to turn its back on some type of conflict or something that happened in the past. And this Five of Cups, this moth, I know this moth from Silence of the Lambs, but I think of, you know, there's something that, you know, these broken cups here, and being able to kind of like clear away the broken glass, you know, flapping the wings and clearing it away, and that'll bring lightness. You know, these little fireflies will be able to allow you to see the two upright cups that are still going good in your life. Don't hide away from your pain. Cats, they tend to hide their pain. They tend to mask it and kind of go through as if they're not hurting when really they are. And because they mask it, it becomes really challenging to for cat owners, if you're a pet owner, to identify that something is going amiss. And that works against you internally when you try and not display your wounds or you keep them hidden. Pain is somewhat necessary to go through. It's how you identify what needs repair. If you never felt pain, imagine if you broke your ankle without realizing it and could not feel the pain that you had broken your ankle, and you just went on about your life walking on a broken ankle. That's going to cause permanent damage to that ankle. And when you finally get to a place where you become disabled by that, it could be too late to really actually do something to fully restore the original function of your ankle. And so what I'm hearing is like there's a broken heart here, and you don't want to hide your broken heart or pretend or bury it or act like it doesn't exist, because first of all, acknowledging that you have a broken heart doesn't make others perceive you as broken. But also being able to acknowledge your broken heart and move through it and feel the pain will allow you to mend your heart so that you can return to your full capacity to be able to give and receive love to others in your life. Whew. I'm just sitting here in awe a little bit of the message, because I just feel like that's such a powerful message to receive. Let's turn to some oracle cards. I'm feeling like the Moonology deck. Okay, I've shuffled our deck. And let's see what additional messages want to come out for pile number 2. Any additional guidance or messages for pile number 2, please? Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Anything else for pile number 2, please? One more card for pile number 2, please. I'll try one more time. Pile number 2, clear guided messages, please. And We have nothing is yet set in stone. Woman. Okay, but conclusions are within reach? Kind of contradictory again, which is something else we were picking up on earlier. I feel like give me a second. First of all, the conclusions are within reach. I feel like this is talking about the grief or the broken heart that we were talking about earlier. And what I get from this is that if you do this inner work that you're being called to do, to kind of stop struggling, and to just sit where you're at right now for just a little while, to get in touch with yourself and work through this grief and this pain, that you will be able to walk away from it, and not have it be carried around with you like baggage, that's weighing you down. And then what I get from nothing is yet set in stone, I'm drawn to the crashing waves. And all of this emotional turbulence is kind of what I'm seeing, is that things are churning. There's something being churned right now. And if you try and push forward, we have these churning waves here too. It's going to be a struggle trying to move forward while basically swimming against the current. And when you do this inner work and this release work, it's going to smooth out the current so that your pathway through the water, I need to sip some water. Hold on. Sorry about that. Once you've settled the waters with some inner work and processing all this grief and pain and emotion, the waters are going to become much easier to move through, and it'll be so much easier to move up this current and achieve a new plateau from which you can launch, a new path. Yeah. And then we'll see about this deck. Okay. Barriers. This came up for pile number 1. So if you needed any more confirmation to check out pile 1, there it is. Maybe. And triggers. Okay. I will read out of the booklet for barriers and for triggers. Here it is. If you'd like to pause and keep this or read for yourself. You have created barriers or defense mechanisms that may be preventing emotional or mental healing. The universe is eagerly waiting and willing to assist you with your healing, but you may not be receiving the healing you desire. Something seems to be blocking or hindering your restoration. The obstacle may be a protective measure you have put in place to keep your heart from further harm. This shield may seem necessary and logical, however, it is also preventing the healing light being sent to you from penetrating and healing your pain. Defense mechanisms are a response to being wronged, hurt, rejected, abandoned, or abused. You may have made a mental vow not to allow yourself to feel a certain type of pain again. Once the block is in place, you may find it difficult to talk about certain situations or to receive corrective information about your experience. By identifying the root cause of your defense mechanism, healing can begin. You need to be willing to tear down the walls you have built so that healing can occur. A woman rides high on the back of a dragon in the middle of the ocean. The shoreline is covered with jagged rocks and looks completely unapproachable. Smoke comes from the dragon's mouth as if he might breathe fire at any moment. You have created a similar type of energy with the walls you have built around you. Remember, fear does not keep you safe. Be willing to make some changes. Talk to someone about what you are harboring so your healing process can begin. What are we talking about here? The full moon shines her light on whatever it is you are ready to release. The turbulent waters shows this may not be easy for you to do. However, the same turbulent water can be cleansing and will help you move forward. The stars in the sky are your blessings. They suggest there are many sources that will help you become free. Yes. And then number 9, triggers. Here's the message here. And then the occurrences or circumstances in your life may affect you on a deep level and be stored in your memory as wounds or triggers. Your ego can become defensive due to the emotional wounds you carry with you. Once a wrongdoing has happened in your life, it cannot be undone, but you choose how to handle the outcome. There is no single situation you cannot overcome. You can detach from the triggers, but you must have the will and desire to do so. Authentic healing means accepting past trauma, sadness, depression, and disappointments. From here, you can choose to accept responsibility for your emotions and your triggers. When you neutralize the stories from your past, they lose their grip on your present happiness. Holding on to pain limits your ability to live life to the fullest. It is time to disconnect the switch and stop allowing a past situation to control your current actions. The bubbles in this image represent memories and stories from the past. Once they no longer have energy or trigger you, they will pop and disappear. The sun rises on the horizon, reminding you that you have a new day in which to create anything you want. The warmth of the sun supplies extra love to you. The sun, I originally was going to include that card in this reading. Let me finish. The ocean and rivers bring flow, gentleness, and friendship to help you release what no longer serves you. You are being challenged to live in this moment. Living in the moment was a huge theme of pile 1. I'm a little blown away by how similar these piles are. But the sun originally came out while I was shuffling the decks the other day, and I was going to include it, but then I had decided on this format I was going to do, but I'm going to pull it out of the deck now and see if it adds anything. Let me move this. Okay. So we have the sun here, and look at that. It is a beautiful large cat. We got lots of cats going on here. So I feel like she's got her little paw right here on the sun. It's right there within your grasp. And all these red leaves are kind of like, and I see kind of blood or wounds. But there's also all this sparkly bright light that wants to come up and kind of make the clouds sweep away. It's just going to sweep away. And this figure is so, I just get such a sense of security and confidence. And not just confidence as in like being puffed up or inflated, but feeling so grounded and secure in who you are that nothing can really shake you. You know, she's here on this tree, but nothing's going to just blow her off the branch. That's kind of what I'm feeling from this card. So I'll just set that right there. And we will pull some affirmations. So some affirmations for pile number 2, please. Okay. My inner world is peaceful. It is safe for me to look within. Each time I look deeper into myself, I will find incredibly beautiful treasures. I feel like this sun here is that treasure. I'm going to put that over there. And then I am not restricted by limiting beliefs. I am gentle, kind, and comforting to my inner child as we uncover and release the old, negative messages from family and society. With these affirmations, I really advise using them as journal prompts and just writing them out until it becomes a natural way to think about and conceptualize something. And that is what I've got for you, pile number 2. This one was a little quicker, but I also, pile number 1, there was a lot of, well, I'll just let you go read pile number 1. This is pile number 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Golden Nouveau Tarot deck. Before we begin, filming this entire video has been an ongoing journey for me. This is about a month later from when I started this video. So my setup looks completely different right here. And but it's still going to be the same reading as the previous piles. So this reading is looking at what adventure is calling out to you in your life right now. The first card is going to be, what is the adventure? What's calling out to you? The second card will be, what is blocking you from saying yes to this adventure? And the third card's going to be what you can do to remove the block. And then the fourth card is going to be how you will be changed by this adventure, how it's going to benefit your life. And from then on, we might pull clarifier cards and we might pull some oracle cards as I feel called to it. So let's get started. So, pile 3 spirit team, please give us clear guided messages. What adventure is calling out to pile 3? What adventure is calling out to pile 3? What adventure is calling out to pile number 3? What adventure is calling out to pile number 3? Okay. We got 6 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. All right. What is blocking pile 3? Okay. 2 of Pentacles. How can pile 3 remove the block? All right. We got the 7 of Wands and the Star. And how will pile 3 be? Okay, that's too many. How will pile 3 benefit or be changed by this adventure? Ace of Wands. All right, that's an interesting spread right there. Pile number 3. You had quite a few cards come out. I feel that what's calling out to you, the 6 of Cups especially, tells me that there is something that you have really, really wanted to do, maybe even ever since you were a child. And when I see the 6 of Cups with the 6 of Pentacles, what came to my mind was like a mission trip, like going somewhere like AmeriCorps or something, where you go to a place where they need volunteers and you give yourself over to the cause. And often these are global causes, so you get to travel the world. It's also like a really common way to pay off student debt. At least when I was in college, that's what they pushed on people generally who wanted some type of debt relief assistance, was AmeriCorps. That's what came to my mind. I'm also thinking, you know, we've got a lot of cards about balancing. What's holding you back, the 2 of Pentacles. You might feel like you don't have the resources to make this happen. Like maybe if you did AmeriCorps or you traveled somewhere that you really wanted to go, that things would become difficult to juggle. Particularly like if you're looking at a mission trip or something like that. Usually what happens is you just get paid a stipend, and a lot of the times it's not that much money. It's like pretty much just the bare minimum to get by on. So you might be concerned about that. You might also be concerned about the way it would shake up your world. But I'm seeing like the way that you can push through this block is to pretty much just protect your authentic desire. Like, you know, defend yourself against the naysayers who tell you that you're not going to like it, or that it's, you know, it's too difficult. I'm drawn to this right here. There's like, oh, it's just some grass, but for a little while, I mean, for a moment it looked like something that's growing that needs to be protected. So maybe you've planted a seed somewhere and you're waiting for it to grow and blossom. But again, these 6 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles, those are very interesting cards to pull for like, what is an adventure that's calling to you? Because these are really about balance and equal exchange, right? You know, we have the Pentacles, which is monetary exchange, and the 6 of Cups is like feelings, reciprocating feelings, or giving love freely. But yeah, something about volunteerism keeps coming up for me. And yes, like maybe you are starting a cause and you really want to do something about something you see in your community that you feel that you have what it takes, or you have a solution that you can offer this issue that's going on. You know, it could be like homelessness or any type of thing. You know, maybe you've come up with some type of technology that could help make things easier. And oftentimes there's like, with that type of thing, you're running up against the way things have always been. And that kind of speaks to me through the Two of Pentacles as well. You know, because it's easy to get stuck in this type of thing, like, oh, this is just what I've been given and I have to make it work somehow. But usually that's also where a lot of creative ingenuity can come out. And, you know, if you work through this block, you are going to come into a lot of creative inspiration. You're going to become powerful. Like, this hand that's wielding the wand is a very powerful position. You might think that, like, it looks like, oh, I'm gonna hit something with the stick or bludgeon something with the stick. But, you know, it can also be like a strong symbol. I mean, that's one way that you wield power, right? But you're not trying to domineer people, otherwise these sixes wouldn't have showed up. Really, it's just like, this is my tool, this is what I have available to me to make something work. And it's like, it's new, it's something that just came out, like, oh, I got it, eureka, you know, that type of experience. Let's see, I kind of want to figure out, like, if we can get some clarity on what this adventure is. Can we clarify the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, please? Okay, so we have the Emperor. Yes, I think this is about something about resources. The Emperor is, you know, he's emperor, he's king of an empire, and he's very, very secure. And the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles can be like a really a wish, a desire to feel secure, to not have to juggle your resources anymore and try and make things work on a shoestring budget. And sometimes you have to make take bold, decisive action to get to the wish fulfillment part of this, the Star, where it's like you're actually building something that is regenerative and able to bring vitality into your life. Okay, let's look at some oracle cards. I've got the Sacred Earth Oracle, which is a new oracle deck for me, and we're going to see what wants to come out for pile 3. Any more information that pile 3 needs to know about this adventure that is calling out to them? What does pile 3 need to know? Okay. We have Brilliance. Such a beautiful card. Set that here. And let's read out of the book. But just looking at the pictures, that I'm seeing like a landscape that's kind of dark and shroudy, but there's this light being cast from the gaze of the figure, and it's like maybe you see opportunities where people have become kind of stuck in their ways. here we have in the book, earthly meaning, an underlying fear of success. New ideas threaten old ways. Oh my God. Positive change respects the past and the future. Put your thinking cap on and brainstorm. Step outside of conformity and well-meaning advice. So that's this Seven of Wands here, is that you've got people who are like, oh, you should do things this way or that way. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. Be prepared for loud applause and the accompanying criticism. Experimentation recharges an interest. A sudden realization brings dramatic change. Spiritual meaning. An inspirational thought flows into your heart and something new is born. You are focused, inspired, and intuitively guided towards success. Much is accomplished with seemingly little effort because the force of love and purpose is on your side. Your work and energy shall touch the hearts of many. Embrace your mental brilliance as part of your light. Insight. Lightning repeatedly striking the vapor and gases present on the surface of the young earth produced amino acids, the building blocks of protein and the fundamentals of life. Lightning literally provided the spark of all life on earth, but we are afraid of it, and for good reason too. Lightning is many times hotter than the surface of the sun. Despite this, people and animals can be struck by lightning and survive. When lightning strikes, the surrounding air heats and expands so quickly that it creates great claps of thunder. Most lightning occurs within the clouds, but when it does ground, it can strike in the same place twice, and often strikes the same place many times over. Ideas can feel dangerous. Not everything we think up is destined for this time and place. Just like lightning, most ideas will never ground, but when they strike the right mix of elements, they can be world-changing. Once an idea strikes, it increases the chances many more will follow. Generate brilliance. So to me, this is really talking about this Ace of Wands here. And when I thought of strike, I thought of like someone hitting you over the head with a wand. Like, here it is. And yeah, so again, this is coming back to like, sometimes when you shake things up, people aren't going to like it. People aren't going to be comfortable with that. But if you're operating out of the goodness of your heart here, which I think that you are based on the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, you have a very heart-centered intention. And what you really need is just the bravery and the security, like the Emperor, to be like, you know what? Who cares what others think? I'm going to do what I know is calling out to me, what really needs to be birthed by my own effort. And the Emperor here really talks about effort as well. It's not easy to change minds and to change the world. The world really likes, or at least the people in the world really like to stay conservative and to be attached to the way things have always been, because it feels the most comfortable. When things are predictable, they feel safe. And when you change things or introduce new variables, that can feel very threatening to the people around you, and you might even feel threatened. And people might react towards you because they feel threatened by your brilliance. And sometimes this is because people haven't allowed themselves to be brilliant. They gave in to the fear of like, what will people think if I do this? What will people say? How is this going to work? They give in and they give up. And then they see other people who choose not to give up, and they think, oh, we have to put a stop to that. You know, like, that's not okay. You can't do that, because they've denied it in themselves. So don't take it personally when people push back on you for going outside of the box. I want to pull some more cards. I'm feeling this deck. We are going to look at the Seed and Sickle deck, and we're going to read out of well, you know what? Let's read out of the Dusk booklet for how to deal with this block. Let's get some additional advice for how to deal with this block. So, how can pile 3 deal with this block? How can pile 3 deal with this block? We've got chamomile. These cards are slipping around. And then in terms of moving past the block, what is this path leading pile number 3 towards? And we'll read out of the Dawn booklet for that. What is pile 3 being led towards? What is pile 3 being led towards? Where will this adventure take pile 3? I'm going to do this one more time. Please give us a clear guided message for pile number 3 out of the Dawn booklet. Okay, I might have to do it a second time. Now I will do this one more time. One meta message for pile number 3, please. There we go. We got Asphodel. Okay. The Dawn booklet and then the Dusk 49 chamomile. Here's the description, and then everything feels harder than usual lately. I feel like, yeah, with the 2 of Pentacles, that was like kind of like feeling stressed out. You've come to this point because you pushed yourself too far and too hard, and you're literally running on empty. If you keep going the way you have been, you're going to burn out entirely. Exercise some kindness towards yourself while you still can. Don't be afraid to take time for yourself. Channel chamomile's soothing restorative properties by making a cup of tea, taking a nap, and finding a new sense of balance and harmony to replace your energy. Right. So, of course, we've talked about going out and pursuing your goals, but also, like, maybe you've been pushing yourself too hard in that regard. And it could be that some of this is also talking about restoring balance to your life. Like right now you're kind of like juggling, whereas the 2 6s are what like true balance is and what real serenity is going to feel like. And with the chamomile, it could be that like you really need to take a period to pause and withdraw and to just rest up before you can go out on this adventure. Then you'll have the energy that you need. And then out of the Dawn booklet, here it is. And then the Mazzari of Corsica carry wands of asphodel into the dream realm. There they hunt the souls of locals in order to predict who will fall ill or die in the next year. Drawing this card is a sign that you too will have to make some big predictions soon. They'll have important effects on your life, so don't make them lightly, but don't take forever either, or someone may end up making them for you. Okay, so to me that kind of speaks about how there are moments in life where we have an opportunity to exercise some agency in the way things are going by making a choice. And when we don't take that opportunity to make a choice, we sit like in a kind of like rigid position, not moving forward, but not like moving backward either, just being still. When you linger too long, oftentimes the universe is going to act in a way that pushes you down one way or another, or pushes you down a path, basically, where a decision is made for you. So keep in mind that when you embark on this journey, you have to make a choice, right, on what you're going to do, what it's going to mean to you. But also take the time to really investigate every option that's available to you. You might be really struggling with juggling and the burnout, and that can affect your ability to make sound judgments. That's one reason why you also need to make sure that you're making time for yourself to rest, which seems to be a recurring theme in these piles so far. So my heart goes out to you guys who are watching, who are feeling really run down. Take care of yourselves. I've had to learn to take and schedule a literal day of rest into my weekly schedule, because even though I don't have a job and I have a really laid back lifestyle, I still find ways to burn myself out by trying to make myself do everything. And that's part of why it's taken me 2 months to film this video, is because I came up against a wall and was like, oh, I guess I gotta rest sometimes, huh? And so just making sure that you do schedule a day of rest for yourself. And a day of rest is not like a day where you run errands or a day where you like catch up on chores and stuff. A day of rest is a day where you literally rest. You either veg out on the couch watching TV shows that you want to watch, or you take yourself on a nice walk, something that's like low stimulus. Not a chore or a goal that's being accomplished. Doing things from your heart's desire, that's okay. Like if you really love painting or you really love drawing, like sitting down and spending some time doing arts and crafts, something that brings you a lot of joy and peace, that's rest. That's good. That restores your cup. But don't make your rest days about doing errands and catching up on things. That is cheating. That's not real rest. So and I'm saying that because that's what I tend to do to myself. So I'm calling you out and telling you not to do that. Let's get a couple affirmations. So let's get, I feel like 2 affirmations for pile number 3. What's going to help them with this adventure? Oh, we got 2 right here. As I learn to love myself, I become powerful. I do not need to wait until I become perfect before I love myself. Loving myself is the quickest way to create a wonderful life. And then we have, my past is part of the richness and fullness of life. Without my past, mistakes and all, I would not be here today. I love myself for my willingness to learn and grow. Okay. Trying to make sure that all fits. And pile number 3, I think these affirmations are really wonderful. I think when you're stuck in this kind of chaotic 2 of Pentacles energy where you're just like really trying to strike a balance, it's really easy to beat yourself up for not being in a more stable state. And this affirmation is really about just accepting yourself where you're at. And you don't need to wait until you become perfect to start loving yourself. Loving yourself is how you're going to create a wonderful life for yourself. And you show yourself love by giving yourself rest when you need it. And yeah, Learn from your past. Don't hate your past. Your past is what brought you to this perfect moment right now. Pile 3, that is all I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 4. This is your reading. We have the Tarot for Kids deck. I'm really interested in what's going to come out for this pile because I usually use this deck for inner child work. The way this reading is going to go is that the first card is going to tell us what adventure is calling out to you. The second card is going to be what's blocking you from saying yes to this adventure. And the third card is going to be what you can do to remove this block, what help is available to you. And the fourth card will be how you are going to change or be changed or benefit from going on this adventure. So let's get started. Pile number 4. I'm going to try and do this. We'll see how it works. What adventure is pile number 4 being called on? What adventure is calling out to pile number 4? We have the 7 of Swords. What is blocking pile number 4 from going on this adventure? Seven of Coins. How can pile number 4 move through this block? Right. The Sun. And then how will pile 4 be changed by this adventure? What benefit will come to them? We have Judgment. Very interesting spread, pile 4. So don't freak out about the 7 of Swords. What I see here is someone who's trying to walk away from something that they love. And they can't take everything with them. They can only take what they can carry, these 5 swords. The thing that's blocking you is that you've invested so much in this community that you might be walking away from. And I'm really kind of interested in the way the 7 of Swords came out, because usually you'd expect the 8 of Cups here. So let's ask, why the 7 of Swords? Is it because you haven't admitted to yourself that you really want to do this? I see the 7 of Swords as kind of it tends to be spiritual bypassing. You may not have acknowledged that you don't want to leave. The 8 of Cups is different because the person in the 8 of Cups fully understands that they are making a painful decision. And it's of their own volition. The 7 of Swords, I feel like this person may have been outcast. They may have been kicked out. They may not have been given a choice but to leave. Or they might be in denial of how much it hurts to leave. And again, the Seven of Coins, I feel like as a block, this is when you've invested so much into something that you don't want to cut your losses. And you see that here, like the Seven of Swords, this person is trying to make out with as much as they can fit in their arms. The contrast between him and the Eight of Cups is that the person in the Eight of Cups is leaving those 8 cups behind. He has completely detached himself. He has removed himself from the attachment to the things that he's giving away and giving up. So this, I feel like, is someone who's moving on but doesn't want to give up their attachment to what they're leaving behind. And the way that you move through this block is through the sun. This is really about just knowing that you're going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And you're going to be able to feel joy again. You're going to be able to find a companion that you can depend on. And that can give you what you need in a way that this couldn't give you what you needed. And how you'll be changed is the Judgment card. This is like the ultimate transformation, really. The Judgment is about coming to life again. The angel comes down and it's, you know, it's the second coming, and people who are dead are coming back to life. They're having their vitality restored to them through this call to, in this case, adventure, to leave something behind. There's something here that's not serving you anymore. And let's ask, why can't pile 4 let go? Three of Coins. Yeah, you felt like you really belonged in this community. You had a role that you played, and you don't want to give that up. You don't want to leave that role behind. But the whole thing about, we play a role in the groups and the communities that we're a part of, but we are not that role. You have to be able to detach your identity from that. That's about ego attachment, right? And so you've become so identified with this part that you've played that you don't realize that you don't end with this part. You go on, you persist past this part, and the part has to come to an end. It's time to don a new role. There's something better for you out there. That's what I'm seeing in these cards. What an interesting spread. You know, my heart goes out to you though, because I know what it's like to, you know, I went through this when I left my old job last year, because me leaving my job was not, I mean, it was a choice, but it was a choice that was thrust upon me. It wasn't necessarily something that I was ready to do when it happened. I really, like, things happened and it was like, okay, I either have to do something that I'm really not comfortable with doing to keep this job, or I have to move on and make it work somehow. And for a while, I was not ready to give up my role at my old job. I had become a supervisor, but I was also feeling really stifled there. And now that I've left that behind, I'm feeling so much more like this Sun card. So I understand how it feels to really cherish feeling like you belong to a community, even if that role is like, it's too small for you. You have something so much greater to give to this world than what you've invested into this role or community over here. There's so much more than just these 7 coins out there for you. So let's see what would be helpful. I think let's look at the animal spirits. what animal spirits are here to help and guide pile 4? We have whale. Oh, we have whale and hedgehog. So whale, tenderness. Show compassion and forgive what needs to be forgiven. And hedgehog, acceptance. Embrace who you are. Who you are is so much bigger than this little role that you played here. And forgiving what needs to be forgiven. I had to forgive the fact that my potential was stifled at my old job. I had to give a lot of forgiveness to that. And I had to forgive the fact that that I outgrew that place and that I didn't want to continue that kind of work anymore. So that might resonate for you. Sometimes it's when you've outgrown a place, you can feel resentful or anger towards that place for not being big enough to give you what you needed and to give you the kind of space and freedom that you needed to really blossom. It can feel like that. Absolutely. Are there any other messages out here for pile 4? Let's do a Sacred Earth Oracle. I really am liking this deck so far. So give us a message for pile 4, please. Message for pile 4, please. I feel like your reading was kind of more straight and to the point than the previous readings. Okay. I'm going to just cut this. Brilliance. That's interesting. This came out in the last pile too. So I'll reread it for you guys as well. Here it is. And then earthly meaning, an underlying fear of success. I feel like that's very 7 of Swords. New ideas threaten old ways. Positive change respects the past and the future. Put your thinking cap on and brainstorm. Step outside of conformity and well-meaning advice. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. Be prepared for loud applause and the accompanying criticism. Experimentation recharges an interest. A sudden realization brings dramatic change. Spiritual meaning. An inspirational thought flows into your heart and something new is born. You are focused, inspired, and intuitively guided towards success. Much is accomplished with seemingly little effort because the force of love and purpose is on your side. Your work and energy shall touch the hearts of many. Embrace your mental brilliance as part of your light. Insight. Lightning repeatedly striking the vapor and gases present on the surface of the young earth produced amino acids, the building blocks of protein and the fundamentals of life. Lightning literally provided the spark of all life on earth, but we are afraid of it, and for good reason too. Lightning is many times hotter than the surface of the sun. Ooh. Despite this, people and animals can be struck by lightning and survive. When lightning strikes, the surrounding air heats and expands so quickly that it creates great claps of thunder. Most lightning occurs within the clouds, but when it does ground, it can strike in the same place twice, and often strikes the same place many times over. Ideas can feel dangerous. Not everything we think up is destined for this time and place. Just like lightning, most ideas will never ground, but when they strike the right mix of elements, they can be world-changing. Once an idea strikes, it increases the chances many more will follow. Generate brilliance. I feel like you already know that you need to leave this situation and move on to something new, and you might be facing fear of the unknown. Like, this was something that you got really comfortable in, and you're not sure what's going to happen next. But I think this is really about embracing who you are, you know, and understanding that, like, you are more than this, and you have worn out what this can offer you. You've gotten all that you can get out of this. It's time to move on. Let's see. I kind of want to give you a self-care card. Your pile, I feel like a lot of tenderness is kind of needed here, compared to the other piles were kind of a bit more, how shall I say, didn't exactly mince words, you know, or it was just really like cut to the chase. But this is like, I'm feeling a lot of unsureness and fear and kind of some insecurity. So what will help pile 4 feel more secure? We got alone time. And then what will help pile 4 feel more secure? Once you kind of extricate yourself from this old community, you might really find that it really wasn't as great as you thought it was. Like, once you get, and that's happened to me before, where it was like I started feeling the itch to leave, but you know, I was so attached to my commitments to the people and the place that I had been investing in. And but once I left, it was kind of like, wow, why was I holding on to that so hard? You know, it was like, I'm doing so much better without it. And I really didn't need that thing in my life to bring me happiness. Positive affirmations. So for me, that's a cue to bring out my affirmation deck. I almost wasn't going to, so so what's an affirmation that will be helpful for pile 4? Affirmation for pile 4, please. I forgive all past experiences. I accept all that I have created for myself, my past and my present. I am willing to allow my future to happen. Don't block yourself. Don't block your future from happening because you want to stay in the past, because you want the past to persist forever. And okay, I'm feeling some more affirmations are needed. Go. I affirm that I am totally willing to freely forgive everyone. I release from within me all bitterness and resentment. I let go of old hurts and forgive everyone, including myself. I think that came back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like when you outgrow a place, it's really easy to feel resentful that people couldn't give you what you needed, that a place couldn't be big enough for you, because you really wanted that place to be the place that could sustain you. But letting go is what's going to help you move forward. And it's okay to cut your losses. You will recover them eventually. And you might even recover them tenfold. You know, you got the sun here. Oh, here we go. My day begins and ends with self-love and appreciation. I wake up in the morning, loving myself, praising myself, and telling myself I love being me. Love being you. Don't try and be different. Don't try and be what other people think you need to be. And pile 4, that is all I'm seeing for you. This one was a little straighter to the point than the other ones, but also very interesting spread. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that this was helpful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.